then to be able to come back from that very next ball, right out of the middle, right out of the screws.
Oh, that's the wrong end. Had to spin it off the pitch. 94 for 2. Oh, that's the wrong end. Had to spin it off the pitch. 94 for 2. Goes that sweep. A single.
Ominous signs for the bowling side. This is a good over from Shakib. He hasn't allowed any width
sweep
or the line for Fakar to hit the ball over mid-wicket. Every time the bowler, if you pitch the ball around off stump, just back of the length. Ominous signs for the bowling side. With the stance of Fakar's and the back left, you're asking for trouble. The ball is going to go towards mid-wicket. And that's what we saw in the previous over. Shamsi providing him with that line and length. With the stance of Fakar's and the back left, you're asking for trouble. The ball is going to go towards mid-wicket. And that's what we saw in the
12 done, it's 103 for 2.
That line and length. The stance of Fakar's and the back left, you're asking for trouble. The ball is going to go towards mid-wicket. That's what we saw.
Eight overs to go. We love Candy, well placed. Angelo Matthews gaining in on the...
So Fakhar Zaman walks back to the pavilion for 45, 103 for 3.
Overs to go. We love Candy, well placed. Angelo Matthews gaining in on the...
So Fakhar Zaman walks back to the pavilion for 45, 103 for 3.
Crucial blow, the wicket of Fakhar Zaman. And now that brings Wanindu Hasaranga, the captain of Love Candy, to the wicket. 8 overs to go.
It wasn't exactly an eye-catching innings from Fakhar. Scrappy, at times it looked okay, but nothing more than okay. This had to clear that man and Garava. A couple of paces to his left and took it quite cleanly, neatly.
Started off with the slow ball and Zaman not finding the timing. She'll blow the wicket of Fakhar Zaman. And now that brings Wanindu Hasaranga, captain of Love Candy, to the wicket. He likes to give himself known at any stage.
It wasn't exactly an eye-catching.
Yeah, that fantastic innings of his yesterday.
Scrappy, at times
the last match,
okay,
certainly.
but nothing more than okay.
A lot of power through and over the cover region. And long off.
A couple of paces to his
Still has to give himself a few balls to get going once again. Often you see that with players who are usually batting around 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. They're not used to having to play a batsman style of role. We know he's aggressive and he'll be out there to be aggressive. You have to start your innings again.
It wasn't exactly an eye-catching.
Yeah, that fantastic innings of his.
Getting up the order will help him to develop as a batsman also. I think he's got this natural ability to hit the ball, but it's just when to pause, when to hit. In the last innings, he was smashing it all over. Such a good innings this was.
Often you see that with
Fastest half century of this tournament.
6, 7, 8, 7, 8.
Batted at number 3 and look at the stylish innings. 22 balls to 52. Brilliant.
You have to start your innings again.
In trying to look if he could go offside. Long off in the circle. Now he's got a new number on his back.
Also, I think he's got this
Number 200. He usually plays with 49. The last game he picked up
in the last innings he was
T20 wickets.
smashing it all over.
Is this just a one-off?
Such a good innings this was.
You think? Often you see that with
Fastest half century of this tournament.
6, 7, 8, 7, 8.
Batted at number 3 and look at the stylish innings. 22 balls to 52.
Good over from Samrakun. So far just the singles. You'll take that at this stage.
Like these tennis players have got their Grand Slam written either on the shoe or when they come out for the Wimbledon final. Federer used to have it on his white jacket. How many Grand Slams he won? It's a great achievement. He's still young. And 200, I don't know how many shirts does he have, because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that now. I was the original 16. It should have been retired. Singles. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle, so he chips in. Ends the over with a boundary. 111 for 3.
Come out for the Wimbledon final. Federer used to have it on his white jacket. How many? And 200, I don't know how many shirts does he have, because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that now. I was the original 16. It should have been retired. Singles. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle, so he chips in. Ends the over with a boundary. 111 for 3.
Come out for the Wimbledon final. Federer used to have it on his white jacket. How many? And 200, I don't know how many shirts does he have, because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that now. I was the original 16. It should have been retired. Singles. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle, so he chips in. Ends the over with a boundary. 111 for 3.
Come out for the Wimbledon final. Federer used to have it on his white jacket. How many? And 200, I don't know how many shirts does he have, because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that now. I was the original 16. It should have been retired. Singles. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle, so he chips in. Ends the over with a boundary. 111 for 3.
Come out for the Wimbledon final. Federer used to have it on his white jacket. How many? And 200, I don't know how many shirts does he have, because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that now. I was the original 16. It should have been retired. Singles. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle, so he chips in. Ends the over with a boundary. 111 for 3.
Come out for the Wimbledon final. Federer used to have it on his white jacket. How many? yeah, because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that. I just don't know. Should have been retired. Single. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle. So it chips in. Ends the over with the boundary. 111 for 3.
Because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that. I just don't know. Should have been retired. Single. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle. So it chips in. Ends the over with the boundary. 111 for 3.
Because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that. I just don't know. Should have been retired. Single. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle. So it chips in. Ends the over with the boundary. 111 for 3.
Because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen that. I just don't know. Should have been retired. Single. Lovely shot. Hit off in the circle. So it chips in. Ends the over with the boundary. 111 for 3.
Because what happens when he's 201, 202, 203?
Well, Matthews has stolen I signaled. Oh, they've asked for it. They want to have a look.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Start with front foot.
Signaled. Oh, they've asked for it. They want to have a look.
Fair delivery, move on to front on finishing. TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Start with front foot. Can I have the ultra edge, please?
Oh, they've asked for it. They want to have a look.
Fair delivery, move on to front on finishing. TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. Start with front foot. Can I have the ultra edge, please? Stand by.
They want to have a look. He went a long way across.
Fair delivery, move on to front on finishing.
Is but a timely wicket it could be for the ball Titans.
What follows could be even worse for Gaul. Asif Ali is batted up.
Is but a timely wicket it could be for the ball Titans.
What follows could be even worse for Gaul. Asif Ali is batted up.
Is it there? Clear spike on the outright and the ball is next to the bat. Satisfied bat involved. Stay with your not out decision. Let you know when you're on screen.
Asif Ali is batted up.
Yeah, Dharmasena changes the signal. He'd signal leg by. There's an inside edge and now it ends up being a run for Matthews.
Bat involved. Stay with your not out decision. Let you know when you're on screen.
It's unusual too to see an umpire give the leg by signal before the review is taken. Usually they like to wait.
Actually, they took the review after the signal of a leg by.
It's like that again. Deep point has work to do. They'll come back for a couple. 51 runs, the partnership of 22 balls.
Well, he's incredibly talented. Just plays the field effortlessly. What a knock, 40 of 16 balls, Hasaranga. This was read as hitting the pad by the umpire. DRS was taken. On replay, it came out as an edge. Well, he's incredibly talented. Just plays the field effortlessly.
Oh, it's got that through. That's another 4. 18 off the 16s. One is the Hasaranga, on to 44, and Bila Kendi. The runs are flowing. They're 158 for 3. It's a timeout at the right time for the Gaul Titans. Oh, it's got that through. That's another 4. 8.
What an innings this has been by the captain of the Beloved Candy. Saranga unbeaten, 44 of just 17 deliveries.
Explosive and played cricketing strokes. Hasaranga maneuvered the length, manipulated the field placing, and has made a huge difference already with this innings of his. What a shot that was. Excellently played. Just opening the face of the bat at the last moment. Yeah, he's been very efficient throughout this LPL. Elton. It's become a trend here. The Gold Titan conceding 180 runs in every game. What's happening there?
Well, what should have been just a single has turned into 3. Very, very untidy.
And just sloppy, one-handed pickup. And then it's the loose throw. Then there's no one backing up. Exactly what you don't want coming out of a timeout. They will have talked about keeping their standards high, about what their plans are.
This is 50 in the most emphatic fashion.
And it is the fastest. Joint third overall, but this year, this is the fastest. Oh. Batting has been made look so easy by Hasaranga.
Absolutely flying. You saw how dominant he'd been through the offside. But this time it's leg side. It's raw power on display.
It's not done. He is not done. He is looking to hit the boundary of every delivery.
Down on a knee. Puts it up in the crowd. Outstanding innings from Hasaranga. He'll be hoping there's more to come. The side will be hoping there's more to come.
Now it's the turn of Matthews, who just blasts that over the head of Shamsi for 4.
Well, he's matching the ambience, isn't he? Angelo Matthews. Hit the ball straight as you like. With a lot of power.
They're just making it look easy. Clears the front leg, allows him a free swing of the blade.
Well, it was only a few days ago when many were asking the question, what's wrong with Wanindu Hasaranga? He's not taking wickets, there's no real contribution with the bat. Well, man of the match performance in the last game, and what about this for an innings? 51, just 19 deliveries. That's edged, and there'll be work to be done. There's work to be done. Too much. There's another boundary. There is another boundary. Hasaranga moves to 55. It's getting ugly here. 177 for 3. The longer this competition goes on, the more we start to see that name, Wanindu Hasaranga. But it's with bat in hand.
A couple of days ago, it took 21 deliveries for Hasaranga to get to 50. Today, he bettered it. Only 18 deliveries. He's got a job to do. But the last delivery of the last over, what a shot Hasaranga played. Thoroughly enjoying his batting.
Matthews on strike. Just be one. Oh! Well, that is the outfield that we've seen over the last couple of days. It's very, very uneven. Fielders have got to get their body behind the ball. But unfortunately for that man, he needed to be 8'10".
Yeah, the only man who probably had a chance of fielding that one is the man who's bowling the ball. Yeah, it's a horrible bounce.
The fielder thought I had it covered. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening for Gaul.
Clever. Clever. He knew exactly what he was doing, Matthews.
That was reminiscent of Gordon Greenwich. Great batsman from West Indies. Hopping in the crease and just guided the ball. Bepped it. Over fine leg for 4 runs.
Back-to-back boundaries to start the over off. Knee up, swivels with it, just tucks it over short fine leg. Boundaries coming from both batters now. Beloved Candy absolutely flying here.
Since the 10th over, they're going at more than 14. More than 14 to the over. Has been brutal. Grava's the pick of the bowlers, really. The Gaul Titans, and he's going at nearly 10s. But this has been something special to watch for all in attendance.
Been plenty of boundaries throughout, that's for sure. Showed off his prowess, sitting straight down the ground. Slightly unorthodox fashion. And then it was the touch, and then it was the class that came with it as he settled in. And of course there's power, it's placement, and there's precision to go with it. Has been a brutal innings so far. Strike rate 275 for Hasaranga. Dominant through the offside, but the leg side's still there when he needs it.
It's what makes him so difficult to bowl to. The ability to find boundaries on that offside. You know, captains like to defend one side of the ground, but with him, just always feel as though you were fielder short.
Yeah, with this setup, you know, and he wants a bit of room outside the off stump to capitalize. Missed out on that occasion. Backed away a bit too much.
Sponsors the world's finest brand in automotive lubricants. Valvoline or Valvoline. Taylor Picardo. .24s and 7 6s. Matthews pushes hard, but it'll only be a single. Shamsi will do the fielding. The run rate is well over 10. 188 for 3 with 2 to go. It's just the amount of big overs through Hasaranga just kept coming. Now, you don't have to have big biceps to score at a strike rate of 254. You've just got to be very smart and very skillful. Just be one. So it'll bring Hasaranga back on strike. Samarakorn's been asked to bowl his final over here.
Yeah, big job to do as well. Tough over to come back and bowl. Partnership absolutely flying. 86 of just the 36 deliveries. Got a man in, a strike rate of over 250. Samarakorn's got 5 balls left. Try and pick up a wicket, ideally. Not that, it's limiting the damage.
Well, that's the mindset that they've actually managed to get now out of the Gaul Titans. Is you probably find they're not even looking at a wicket. They're just trying to think of a way where they can place a field where there'll be no more boundaries. But they do need one. Well bowled. It's well bowled. All this time, Angelo Matthews is quietly cruising at 180. And he's hardly got a mention.
It just shows how well Hasaranga's played, and it shows the skill of Angelo Matthews as well. Been a brilliant foil. Just in the last couple of overs has really come into his own as well.
Has he got it? Has he got it? He doesn't. He doesn't. That's the end of Matthews. But a lovely innings. It's a pity that it has to come to an end. What a partnership with his captain.
Well, you got to give it to the bowler. He's not very experienced. He was asked to do a job in pressure situation. Has bowled well. Took off the pace. Timing wasn't there. It was a handy innings from Angelo Matthews. Showing his experience, contributing 40. And it's 190 for 4.
All about the strike rate from here on in, and Asif Ali's got a good one. Matthews played really well. He said the perfect foil. Frankie, that's exactly what it was.
He's just tried to drag that one. It's probably the first occasion of just slightly losing his shape. Just deceived in the air, change of pace. Almost had the legs on it to go all the way, but a much needed wicket. The Gaul Titans just gives them a chance just to peg this back. It'll be a frustrating, reoccurring theme for them at the moment. Starting off well, and then at the back end of innings, I've seen it when they've been trying to defend, that the game just gets away from them.
He does find boundaries. He really does. He knows exactly what he's doing out there, Hasaranga.
A couple of times in this over, he followed Hasaranga and was pitching the ball up, and that's why he grabbed him. But this time around, that back of the length delivery, helping the cause of the batsman. Once again, deliberately slicing the ball to find that gap. Terrific batting from Hasaranga.
Ola feels they've done a good job there, in towards leg stump. That's better, it's off. It's actually got to be missing leg stump. 19 overs gone, it's 195 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, you asked a little bit earlier about what do you think's going on for the Titans. I mean, for me, a real concern. Just jamming in for room here. I'm not sure I'm going to get this story out, am I? Yes, I am. Through for 2 more. It's the fact the least experienced bowlers in this bowling lineup are the pick of them. Being Shamsi, international, 1 for 46. Shakib, 0 for 31 in 3. That's over 10 to the over. Rajata, 0 for 37 in 3. Ngarava, who's probably one of the least experienced, along with Samarakorn. They the pick of the bowlers. You want your internationals to be standing up here. This should be the end of him. This should be the end of him and his. But what an innings it's been from the beloved Candy captain. Wanindu Hasaranga, 64 of just 26 deliveries and a whole heap of boundaries.
Been absolutely brilliant. The home crowd has been treated to one of the finest T20 innings you will see. Been simply brilliant from the moment he walked to the crease as the skipper Hasaranga. He's been able to score it well, peppered the offside. And it's been trying to find the leg side boundary. It's brought about his dismissal. It's the change of pace. The off cover just sits in the surface, deceived ever so slightly. Timing finally fails him. Number 200 on his back. Skipper goes for 64. Candy now 198 for 5.
Good running that. 200 runs on the board. And for the first time in this edition of LPL, Beloved Candy is the team to get there first. Yeah, he was shaping to hit the ball towards cover, and that was the afterthought, because the ball came towards his legs, wasn't able to time the ball. Yeah, coming back to the question regarding Shamsi and Shakib. We all know Sri Lankans, they are brought up on these pitches. They know how to play spinners. And then quite a few players from subcontinent, they are featuring here, especially the Pakistanis. They know how to play the spin well. And that's why he looks off the boil. All the batsmen have been reading him, his googlies and wrist spinners, and that's why he hasn't met success. He has struggled. And also, the slowness of pitches is not helping Shamsi's cause and also Shakib's.
Well, there is no doubt, though, if anyone's going to chase this down, the Titans have got the batting lineup to do it. They've got some real power in their side. We mentioned Shakib, Tim Seifert, Manuka Rajapaksa didn't play well the other evening, but we know how dangerous he can be. Dasun Shanaka. Out.
Yeah, it's good to hear you haven't given up on Galle Titans, Elton.
Game is 2 halves. Good pitch. Titans chose to field because they've struggled to defend anything they've posted, so well, they've got to put the money where their mouth is now. 12 bowled again. The innings finish as well for Carson Rajata. Just 7 from the final over, a couple of wickets, a big one of Wanindu Hasaranga. And that's who the innings belongs to. That's who the afternoon belongs to. Hasaranga's innings, 64 of 27. That has been the highlight.
Even though the Beloved Candy started off very quietly in their first 3 overs, but you had the feeling they got the power in their batting lineup to get something substantial. And managed more than 200 runs. Not surprising for me.
Yeah, slowly just built into the innings. Zaman started slowly, but he was just starting to get going when he was dismissed. And then it was just cameos from them. Chandamal 25 off 17. Angelo Matthews more than played his part, 40 off 23. But the standout there, the skipper, Wanandu Hasaranga, 64 off just the 27 deliveries. Puts his team through to 203 for 5, the highest score this season so far in the LPL. And there'll be some bowlers that won't be too happy with their day's work. There's a couple that stand out there. Samarakun, Ngarava, Economy, just 7.75, but the rest all in double figures and all struggle to touch.
They'll be itching to go back to Colombo, all these bowlers. They have struggled here.
So with a mammoth total of 203, the B-Love Candy, it's been a smooth ride for them at their home ground so far, and their fans have enjoyed the ride thoroughly.